and he would get weed.
He might still be there.
Fuck him, no, he lives in Florida. He's like a fucking retired jerk off. He was another guy. I thought he was fucking badass. We used to torture him too. Then we stole his shipment one time, and that was the end of that. I robbed him for everything one time.
Wow.
I found out where he would put that weed. He was one of those guys that would do this shit. Like when we were in high school, and he had this little pack of little fucking nerds that would do that Hawaii thing.
Yeah.
And then one day he started talking about he had the best weed in town, and it really was. It was Hawaiian weed, and they put it on a stick with a string, and they'd mail it. And it was just a little stick like that. He wanted $35. That was a lot of money in 1980, but he'd hide it in a bag, in like a doctor's bag with all his paperwork and books.
How did you find that out?
Because I watched him from behind the curtain. You know me, dog. I'm a voyeur. So it was me and another guy that were thinking about robbing him. But the other guy got close to the suitcase, and he had those 3-digit confirmations. You had to put your number in there. It was one of those old school ones, like a combination lock. And I'm like, dog, we're going back old school. We're taking the whole thing.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out later. We'll blow it up until the paperwork away. And that's exactly what we did.
Wow.
Your sophomore year, the guy pissed me off. Like in those days when you did piss me off, I just give you some time. I'd sit in the bush and then rob you. When you least expected it. Tony Hinchcliffe goes out of town. I'm stealing those blob punk speakers he keeps talking about. You know those guys? I got new speakers. Wait till you come over. Okay, yeah. Wait till I come over. I'm taking them to go. You come up to me. I'm going down the shore for the weekend. There we go. We got blob punks. Call your cousin in Queens. We got some new speakers for him. Because what are your chances of ever meeting Lee's cousin in Queens? We already got the speakers sold. I would wait till Tony left down the shore. When he come back, my house got robbed. Where's Coco?
That guy probably still is mad about that briefcase. Oh my God.
I don't give a fuck. I took the briefcase. I don't even know how we got it out of the building. I don't even know how we got it out of the building.
Do you remember how you opened it?
Oh, I slammed it against the wall and I stabbed it and opened it up. The fuck you think I opened it? I was stupid for a while. I thought, like when I was a safe cracker, I wanted to actually like be one of those guys that would sit there and like figure out. You can't. You need 20 years of experience. An inside man has to teach you. So I met an Irish guy and he's like, "What are you, stupid? Just take the safe to go." So I always had a dolly. Oh, he always got a dolly in those days. You steal a dolly because you never know when you might get the call at 4 a.m. You got a dolly fucking ready to go. Hey, having that dolly's an extra fucking $200.
Yeah, but how do you hide the dolly? Like, how do you
You
give
just
the
put it
dolly?
behind your garage. Fuck it.
Okay. But when you're walking down the street with a dolly?
I just saw some guy delivering fucking boxes and then I stole his dolly. What the fuck? Tony Hinchcliffe. You know this type of people. You grew up with these fucking
Absolutely. In Youngstown, nothing but you couldn't find a dolly. Everybody would just take them. You couldn't find a dolly.
I remember one night I made Lee steal those milk crates.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I go steal the milk crates.
The milk crates, the check from a restaurant. He's like, it'd be good to roll joints on.
In the 80s, we would steal those things. When people give you a check at a Chinese restaurant, those trays. The tray where everything's on right there. You see behind. So when in the old days at a Chinese restaurant, when people would give you those, if you went to somebody's house and they had one of those and they had rolling papers and weed on it, you're like, "Oh my God, how cool are you? You robbed a Chinese restaurant."
That is cool. I've never even seen anybody do that before.
You got to rob the tray.
He hasn't rolled one joint on it. He rolls it on the table still, but he got me high and he made me steal it. He's like, "Just put this in your pocket."
Sure, just put it in your pocket. Take it to go. You don't know what life is till you rob something. You walk out and you're like, "I robbed something. This is pretty easy. Why am I delivering newspapers?
Little Chinese takeout.
I could just rob this."
Why am I delivering newspapers?
Bob Pullman, Doug, he had like 20 of those. He had just gotten a delivery. He was talking shit. He was in the hallway doing those shit. And I seen him shoot down to the principal's office, dog. And he had a bunch of little faggy guardians around him. Like little fucking... and I went in there and I just took the briefcase. And I think I went out the back door. There was like a stairway down that you could push out. And I walked out there with that little briefcase and nobody fucking saw me. I think I put a winter jacket. I don't remember exactly what I did. But I opened it up on the side streets. And there was like an alleyway. I slammed it against the wall. It wouldn't open. And I had a pocket knife. I stabbed it. I opened it up. I took the weed out and there was a bunch of grades and shit papers. And I just threw it in the fucking garbage. And 2 days later, people were asking me, "Did you hear Mr. Pullman got robbed? Somebody stole his weed." He couldn't say nothing because he was a school teacher. So every time I'd see him, I'd give him one of these. I'd say, "How you doing? Everything all right, cocksucker?" hang low, whatever the high low, whatever the fuck those Hawaiians say.
Oh God.
And he knew it was me. There was a couple teachers, Tony Hinchcliffe. You know, I am very, like, I'll get you. Like, I'll get you. Don't worry about nothing.
Plain
I'll
and
get
simple.
you. Just give me time. I'll get you. There's a couple teachers from my high school that won't friend me on Facebook. But the most notable is Camel Breath, McGrath. Mr. McGrath and me, bro, we used to go circles. We used to get Coke. I used to get him booze and shit.
What grade was this?
Right when I was friends with McGrath since freshman year. He used to smoke Camel with no filters, so we used to call him Camel Breath.
Wow.
His cigarette was orange. His fingers were fucking orange on the inside. He always smelled like heavy Camel cigarettes, and he was the running back coach. And we became friends, you know, over the years, and then he became the driver ed teacher. So what I would do is I would go, Tony Hinchcliffe, sign up for 1045 driver ed. Lee, sign up for 1045. As soon as you get there, sign all three of us up. So the first one at school signed us up, and we would all get in the car with McGrath. And little by little, we would just work him psychologically. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, for the first month, it was us three, and he go, oh, you guys are all right. And then what you do is the classes were 42 minutes. So you got behind the wheel for 12 minutes, 3 people. And then he had a steering wheel behind his thing. Cadillac made the car specifically for our high school, 2 cars. Not specifically for our high school.
For driver's ed.
But driver's ed.
Yeah.
So little by little, we used to make him go on Tunley Avenue, and we told him, McGrath, you know, he would pull into a driveway, but he would pull into Chan's Dragon Inn, the Chinese restaurant I always talk about, and it started, McGrath, you mind we go inside and get a little steak on a stick? You guys are going to get me in fucking trouble. I'm not supposed to we just started with that. We got him to stop and get spare ribs. We got, and then in time, we're like, Mr. McGrath, you mind if we stop and get a 6-pack? And he would just look at us. It's 10 in the morning, guys. 2 beers apiece. Ain't nobody gonna get hurt here. We'll give you one. That's beer and a half each. You're in for a beer. Then we started buying 6-packs, 8-packs. And then we just started, and then I started leaving blow for him in places like that he would, in those days, I had an aunt, Zoraida. I told my story about Comedy Central. And I would call her up and say, Zoraida, I'm having a hard time, but I could sell some Coke. I'm going to come over. And she'd give me like 2 grams of Coke. And I'd give him a gram. And I'd leave it on the steering wheel or whatever. And he would like make believe he never got it. So we were friends like that, lightly. And then I robbed the high school. Me, Tommy Russo, and this dude, Darren Rago, robbed the high school. I quit high school.
What'd you steal from it?
Jersey, but what we stole was the triple beam scales.
We're going in like fucking Marines, you understand me?
Welcome to church, motherfucker.